Thanks to those joining me live and to those that'll be joining me on archive. Throw a jab at that like button. Throw a hook at the bell button to be notified when D-Style comes on live. Throw a 1-2 at the share button and share my videos. If you don't like my channel, go ahead and throw a cross at that unlike button. I can take it to the chin. Oh man, I want to do this video. I got inspired to do this video. I could hear myself on my headphones here. Let me shut that shit off. I got inspired to do this video earlier today while I was getting ready for work and all. Shout out to Fanon over there doing his thing in his boxing channel. Do these jockey weight classes, do they get too much, the fighters in a way, in the jockey weight classes, do they get too much credit? All right. Some people call them the booger weight classes. Okay. Some people call them, and look, I already know that it's going to be people that are going to come out and be like, you are disrespectful. Fuck you. Okay. Fuck you. They're little dudes. Like really, they're little dudes. I'm not saying there's something wrong with it. I'm not saying they're not exciting to watch. I'm not even saying that there can't be great fighters in this weight class. But do they get too much credit? Is pound for pound abused, like when it comes to these smaller fighters? And the short answer is yes. All right, let's wrap up the video, right? But in all seriousness, I say Agent 10 in the house. He says yes. All right. Do they get too much credit? The answer is yes, but I'm going to make a case for it. And I'm going to make it with facts. I'm not just going to just be emotional and just say things. I'm going to present to you, okay, why this is, right? Before we get to the hard facts, let's first get to this, right? The fact of the matter is, it's just easier to be a multiple weight champion, okay, the lower the weight class you start. It's just true, right? That cannot be disputed at all. So we cannot, and because of that, we can't use, well, this guy wants so many championships, therefore he's better, because he's wanting more weight classes than everybody else, because that makes it sound as if everyone has the opportunity to win in as many weight classes. And we all know that just isn't the case. Anyone who's reasonable understands that someone who starts at middleweight will never win as many titles as a dude that starts at minimum weight. Like, everybody just knows that. Because the dude at middleweight has to go to 168. And from there, he's got to go to 175. And even if he wins in those three weight classes, then he has to go all the way to 200. And where does he go from there? Heavyweight? Have you seen some of these heavyweights? Someone who starts at lightweight is not going to win in as many weight classes as someone who starts at, featherweight. They just aren't. It's just the way it is. Okay. In fact, look at all the dudes with all these multiple, belts in different weight classes. From De La Hoya started at 130, Mayweather 130, right? Pacquiao freaking 106 pounds. So the reality is, the lower you start, there's just a higher probability. Not because you're more skilled, not because you're just a better fighter. It's not based on any of that. It's just the dynamics and the way the weight classes are structured, all right, that gives you a higher probability to win more weight classes and win more belts in more weight classes. Okay, now you can argue, well, what's the big? I'm not even saying it's a big deal. I'm just saying that we need to recognize that. We need to stop using that as you got to put him pound for pound. I mean, this guy, he's a 4-time world champion. And he's one weight class is separated by like freaking not even 12 pounds. I mean, that's ridiculous. A dude starts at his career at 175. If he's lucky, he'll win a title, okay, at freaking cruiserweight, and then what? He's got to win it at heavyweight, and then what? Like if by some miracle, it's happened before, right? But if he happens to win the heavyweight championship, then where does he go from there? There is nowhere to go. There's nowhere to go anymore. It's impossible. There's no chance. So this guy's the best pound for pound fighter of all time because he's won so many weight classes. We need to stop giving extra credit, extra points, all right, to fighters that are on these lower weight classes simply because they win more world titles than guys in higher weight classes. And that's a very reasonable thing to say. But if you say that, there's a lot of boxing writers who they love writing those stories about the guy who's won 5 weight classes. He's a 5 division champion and all this, that, and the third. Giving these guys accolades like if it means anything. Not to mention that they have the same politics that all the other weight classes do. Meaning like there's 4 main belts anyway to pick from. Not to mention interim belts and, like, come on. Regular champion, super champion. The same thing. But he's just multiplying it. But then you want to go around and tell everybody, oh, but he's a 4-time, 5-time world champion. In 5 different weight classes. It's a 4th division champion. It's just not as impressive when you're in the lower weight classes. It isn't. Take a look at how many pounds are set. Like that's just the truth. You got pounds like come on. Some weight classes are separated by 3 pounds, dude. Like these guys can take a shit and fight in the lower weight class. Yes, Lopez, Diamond Championship. You can eat a sandwich and drink 2 Gatorades. You jump weight classes, AJ10. Three weight classes between 112 and 118. That is ridiculous. I understand that the lower the weight classes, the more pounds matter. But that is ridiculous. All right? How could you not see it? How can people not see this? Not to mention that most boxing deaths happen in those weight classes because of all the dehydration going on. These guys do not need so many weight classes. It's ridiculous. A day before weighing and everything. I mean, that's ridiculous. Beyond ridiculous. But I'm gonna show you right now, right? Because there was a YouTuber once. I've talked about this before. There was a YouTuber once that told me, no, but these style, the lower weight classes, he said, they have more fighters from all around the world, he said. You don't understand. That's when in fact, I think that's where the origin of the you don't understand style started, actually. I'm not even joking. I know I joke a lot with the you don't understand style, but I honestly believe that that YouTuber said you don't understand style, and I was mocking him when I did a reply, all right? And it was something like, oh, you don't understand style. You don't understand. There's just more people from all over the world fighting in those weight classes. And I debunked it. And he never said anything again. Ed LM in the house. What's going on? This shit average man can cover 3 weight classes in little boy divisions. And look, I'm a fan of a lot of fighters from lower, like Finito Lopez. I'm a huge fan, right? But what I'm talking about is the overpraise that these lower weight class fighters get, right? And it's not, and stop the nonsense. It's not like the all these people that act like they love these fighters, and man, it's when they're done with them, like they're done with them. Like it's insane, right? Like you know, like when Chocolatito was fucking knocked out. I mean, it was sad. It was sad. And when he lost again, all the people praising him and giving all these accolades, they were nowhere to be found. Right? They don't give a shit about these jockey-weight fighters. They don't give a shit about them. Right? Like they'll act outraged because I say jockey-weight, even though I don't believe that's an insult. Okay, I think jockeys are good people. You know, some jockeys have won me good money betting on horse race. I don't got a problem with jockeys at all, actually. Right? I've had a couple jockeys. They're cool dudes. Right? But anyway, you know what I mean. And don't come at me and, oh, you're being disrespectful when they call them straw weights and minimum weight and bantamweight, okay? Just you guys even know what those things mean, all right? So don't come at me, but you're being just shut up. I think I'm giving it more, I'm making it more prestigious by saying jockey, okay, than feather, okay? So fuck you, all right? Anyway, let's put it this way. Now it's, can we all just agree that the lower you start, the more titles you're going to win? And the reason I need to say this because do you know how many times like people are like, oh, Manny's better than Henry Armstrong? They would tell Manny Pacquiao is better than Henry Armstrong. Why? Because Manny has won in 7 weight classes or 8. Was it like I don't even think 8 should count because it wasn't even at the weight class, but and it was against like Margarito, who shouldn't have even been fighting for moral reasons, but also he wasn't a top fighter in that weight class. Okay, but whatever. They want to say 8. Give them a fuck the 8 weight classes. I don't give a shit. All right. It still doesn't make him better. Oh, he won in 5 more weight classes than Henry Armstrong. Henry Armstrong, all right, held 3 titles in 3 weight classes when there was only like 8 weight classes. Do you guys not understand that? Like who doesn't understand that? It was the same before. It was the day of weigh-in, right? He wouldn't even, and he would have won a 4th belt. He could have done it. He could have done it. He came close. But it will be the equivalent of Manny Pacquiao going on middleweight right now and fighting Charlo, which I don't see him doing. So shut the fuck up. But it definitely wasn't weight classes separated by 3 fucking pounds. I can tell you that right now. Furthermore, there wasn't 4, 5, 6, titles floating around. All right. He was the man. Not disputed whatsoever in 3 weight classes. Middle finger to you. All right? Just like that. Look at your knuckles right now. Look at your knuckles. Lower the index finger. Lower the ring finger. Lower the pinky. Lower the thumb. There you go. Okay? That's what I'll say to you. Anyway. Moving on. We're about to drop some heavy bombs right now, okay? D-Style's about to drop some bombs right now, right? Some facts on this sheet, right? Let's see it out. Yes, AJ did. Yeah, Eddie, I'm going to say more people all over the world in these weight classes, quote unquote. It's not true. I'm about to destroy this right now. You guys ready? If you've been subscribed to my channel for a while, you already know what's coming. Like you already know, but don't spoil it for people. Just wait for it. All right? Let's go ahead and start with the heavyweight division. You know how many heavyweights there is around the world? You want to know? There's 1,044 heavyweights around the world active right now. This is not even counting inactive fighters or maybe have injuries. They might come back in a year or two. Not even counting that. Just 1,044. Okay, Deontay Wilder and Anthony Joshua and even Tyson Fury. They're the top three of a weight class of 1,044 fighters in the world, professionals that do this professionally, right? That's and it's a worldwide division and the whole nine. 1,044. Capiche? All right. We're gonna go now to let's try cruiserweight. All right. We're gonna go to the cruiserweight division. Anybody want to guess how many cruiserweights there's around the world? Anybody? Survey says. Anybody want to guess how many cruiserweights there's in the world? There's 943 cruiserweights around the world. 943. There should probably be more. There wasn't so many fat heavyweights, but that's what practically 1,000. Right? They have about 100 less cruiserweights than heavyweights in the world, folks. Right? From all over the world. Look at all these flags from all over the world that I'm looking at right now. All right. Light heavyweight. Anybody want to guess how many light heavyweights there is in the entire world? Active. Not counting injured reserves. Just active. Right now. Anybody want to take a wild guess? Anybody? Anybody in the back going, ooh, me. Like anybody? Anybody want to guess? There's 879 light heavyweights in the world. Solid number. These are solid numbers. Not as much as heavyweight, but solid. Right? Solid. I mean, this is solid. So there you go. That's how many light heavyweights there is in the world. Look at all these flags from all over the world. Look at this. Unbelievable. Now we're going to go to super middleweight, 168 pounds, folks. Anybody want to take a wild guess? Anybody want to take a wild guess? Huh? Anybody in the back? Anybody in the back? Like, ooh, me. Ooh, me. Anybody? Super middleweight has 1,124 active fighters, not counting injured reserve. More than all the weight classes we've gone over so far. Look at that. I think we can all agree. This should be an active division. There's over 1,000 participants in the world. Right? I think we're all in agreement, right? This is a weight class that's needed. There's a lot of people participating in it. All right? Let's go to middleweight. Huh? Anybody want to take a wild guess? Anybody want to answer the question? Me. Look at you guys in the back. Like, me. I got me. Look. Check it out. Middleweight. Arguably the first weight class ever, by the way. What? Yeah. Before weight class existed, they created a weight class called middleweight, right? It was the first weight class created to keep all the big boys from beating up all the little boys. Okay, that's the truth. That's the history of it. All right. Middleweight division, the prestigious middleweight division. Anybody want to take a wild guess how many active middleweights there is around the world? Anybody? 1,250 active middleweight professional boxers all over the world. Look at this. Look at it. I'm seeing flags from all over the world. Look at this. That's where I'm at. Let me look at the chat real quick. Maybe 1,300 for light heavy. You were wrong, but it's okay. They still have a solid number. All right. Well, we're gonna pick things up, guys. Let's go to super welterweight, or if you want to call it, light middleweight, whatever, or junior middleweight, whatever you want to call it, the same fucking weight class, right? Anybody want to take a wild guess? How many, super welterweights, 154-pound fighters there's in the world? Anyone want to take a guess? Anybody? Ooh, me. Ooh, me. 1,515 active, not counting injured reserve. 1,515, folks. It's not counting retired fighters. This is active fighters today. That's how many there are in the world. I think it's fair to say we need to, this is a weight class people are participating in, right? Yeah. Like if you're the best out of 1,000, over 1,000 people, 1,500 dudes, I think that's pretty impressive, no matter what it is you do. I don't care. It's playing like whatever it is. If 1,500 dudes that dedicate themselves to play ping pong, if you're top 4, like you're pretty good. All right. Handball, you name it. If you get 1,500 dudes that dedicate their life to it, all right, you believe me, they're going to be really good at handball. All right. Like if you're tops of that, that's impressive. Now let's go to my personal favorite weight class, welterweight. You guys, I have a video, by the way. I'll share it later. Why I believe welterweight is the best division in boxing. Anyone want to take a wild guess? How many welterweights there is in the world? Anybody want to take a wild guess? Ooh, me. D-style, me. Is it 800? Nope. 1,000? Nope. 1,200? Nope. 700? Nope. 1,761 welterweights in the world. I repeat, 1,761. More than double of light heavyweight welterweight is. Look at this weight class. You think it's a coincidence that we get so many great fighters out of welterweight? You think it's a coincidence? Because if you get 1,761 dudes, okay, and have them all dedicate themselves to baking pies, I would guess that the number one dude at baking pies is going to be pretty good at baking fucking pies. Okay. That's going to be a good ass fucking pie. I can tell you that right now. So you were close. Almost 2,000. Might get there one day. Right? Super lightweight or junior welterweight, whatever you want to call it, folks. 140 pounds. Anybody want to take a wild guess? The weight class, by the way, that Crawford unified and became undisputed in, by the way. I want you to think about that before I say this number. All right? You ready? 140 pounds. Slightly less than welterweight. Anybody want to take a wild guess? Anybody want to take a wild guess? Hulk Hogan said 4,000. Come on now. I mean, we would have some beast if that was the case. Joe says 3,000. Hulk Hogan says 1,200. AJ says 1,500. There's 1,676 junior welterweights on this planet. All right? That's how many there is. And if you think about it, there has been a lot of great fighters out of the weight class. Because I would venture to say, right, that if you get 1,676 dudes, right, to, I don't know, like what random thing can they do, right? Like what random thing? Like what's a random thing that 1,600 you could have, like darts, right? If you have 1,600 and some dudes just dedicate themselves to darts, that's what they do. That's what they train. That's what they do. Yes, the number one dart dude is going to be one hell of a dart player. He'll probably be better than the top dart dude in the UK right now, right? You best believe. We're going to continue. We're going down. Oh, maybe there's more, because I was told that the reason the jockey weight classes exist is because there's so many of them. There's a sea of them, right? There ain't shit. Okay, but let's continue. Lightweight. Anybody want to take a wild guess? Lightweight is one of those historical divisions. Okay, there was a time where if you were lightweight, like people even mocked it in society. That's up to this day. People say, like, man, you're a fucking lightweight when you get drunk all fast and shit. Okay, but nonetheless, it's still a historical division. Think about all the great lightweights. Okay, and I'm gonna give you a number, and you're gonna tell me, well, that makes sense, right? Anybody want to take a wild guess how many lightweights there is in the world? Huh? Anybody want to take a wild guess? Anybody? There's anybody? Take a wild guess. And give me an activity that dudes would do, a random one that somebody just posted in the chat. Joe said 1,611. Boxing Dialogue said 10,000. Holy shit! It's the size of a old school freaking Daenerys Targaryen's army that never dies and shit. There's 1,746 lightweights in the world. Right? In the world. That's actually gone down, actually. I think it was like 100 more the last time I did it. 1,746 is active, considered active. Anyone who has like a long-term injury or, hasn't been active for a couple years is not included in his list. Look at that. 1,745. 46, I'm sorry. 46. Baking. Right? Hulk Hogan said baking. Like if you get 1,746 dudes and they just dedicate themselves to baking, is it fair to say that maybe the top baker is going to be pretty good at baking? Like, isn't like a reasonable thing to say? Like, yeah, that dude's going to be good. I want to eat that shit. Right? Hell yeah. I want to have some top 10 lightweight baker shit. Like I do it. Hell yeah. All right, we're going to start going through this. Super featherweight. Now, 130. Mayweather, De La Hoya started this weight class. Morales, Barrera, Marquez, a lot of, small but not jockey weight fighters, right? So, Naseem Hamed, remember that era? Unbelievable, right? And we still have great fighters that start at this weight class. You guys can name them if you want. How many fighters are at 130 pounds? Anybody want to guess? Super featherweight. Anybody want to guess? Me. Like who? Anybody want to guess? Anybody want to take a guess? 1,300 says you 10. Hulk Hogan said 1,900. Give me a random activity. So somebody post some random activity in the chat. Okay? Like some random shit. Like a random activity that people just do. Like just give me a random activity. Like anything. Somebody post a random activity. Let's look at this number. There is 1,229 130 pounders in the world. It makes a lot of sense. It does. All right. It does. Bowling. You get 1,000. Man, AJ 10 was close. Look at that. 1,229. 1,029 dudes that dedicate themselves to bowling. Man, they're going to be good at bowling. They're going to be pretty good. But I think it's safe to say, all right, they're going to be some really good, like high 200s, like all the time when it comes to the top 10. It's pretty likely. They'll probably be better than the bowlers that we see today. You know what I mean? I'm pretty sure. We're going to now go. Oh, this is great. We're going to go to featherweight, 126 pounds. Again, we see great fighters out of 126, right? And there's people that even say that's like where they stop, right? There's people that say, many of them, some of you might even raise your hand in the chat right now, but 126 is as low as they'll go, right? Well, we've seen a lot of pretty good fighters, right? Batman. We're going to do Batman here at LM. How many do you guys think? 1,244. If 1,244 dudes like dedicated themselves to Batman, like even if they had a job, part-time job on the side or whatever, but like when they got out of work, like they dedicated like 2-3 hours of nothing but Batman every fucking day. And they had a trainer that was helping them and everything, that was good at badminton himself. And man, dude, like I'm telling you, if you have that many badminton players, I think it's fair to say that like the top 10 badminton players are going to be pretty good. I think that's fair to say. I think it's fair. I really do. Nah, D-Style, I don't think so. Okay. We're going to go to super bantamweight. What do you guys think? Is the whole, there's just more fighters in the lower weight classes when you get to the Jockey-Weights. Is it true? Well, we're going to go by facts, not feelings right now, right? That's what we're about to look at the numbers. Is it going to be more or is it going to be less? What do you guys think? What do you guys think? There is 959 super bantamweight fighters in the world. 959. All right. Not bad. Not bad, actually. You could say, you know, if you get 959 dudes to do something, right, they'll be pretty good, right? I think it's fair to say. Now, is this just an outlier? Or is this a pattern? What do you guys think? You know, oh, but come on. That's more than there was at, light heavyweight, right? I get it. Light heavyweight doesn't have a weight class, just 3 weight classes after that, but still, right? That's around cruiserweight. Again, cruiserweight doesn't have a weight class right below it, 3 pounds away, right? We're not. Let's go to bantamweight. We're going to go to bantamweight right now. How many bantamweight fighters in the world? How many do you guys think? In the entire planet? I've been told that, you don't understand these style. There's so many fighters from all over the world in lower weight classes. You're just hating because you're American, right? That's what I was told. Right? That's what I was told. I mean, if you're knocking dudes out of bantamweight, pound for pound, best in the world, right? Automatically, like you get and you're usually like a 4-division champion by then. There is 779. There's a drop off here. What's going on? Quite the drop. I don't know, but come on, D-Style. Come on. It's still 720 dudes. If they do something, I mean, the top dude's still going to be good. True, but not as good as the weight class that has like over 1,000 or close to 1,000, right? It's just simple math. Most of the time, throughout a course of 20 years, you're going to get better product out of more numbers. It's just the way it is. There's outliers here and there, but that's just the way it is. Oh no, but these styles, man, wait till you get to even the lower weight class, because because everybody knows that dudes are even smaller than that. Just 3 pounds away. Do you think there's more fighters? Well, what do you guys think? Survey says we're gonna go to super flyweight right now. The weight classes that we need. We're told we need these weight classes because there's so many of them from all over the world. This is what I'm told. How many do you guys think? Hulk Hogan says 500. How much do you guys think? How much? How much do you think? Give me a number, any number. Does it go up? Is it true that there's a sea of people like so many of them? Oh, that these little guys fight dudes from all over the world. You hating American? You don't understand these styles. You don't understand. You ready? Are you ready? There is 543. 543. Yeah, you heard that right. Another big drop off. What? But how this style? I was told that there's it's like the most populated weight class because the whole world participates in his weight class, right? That we need these weight classes. Like we need them. We need to accommodate. Okay, a weight class that only barely gets over 500 participants in the world, folks. All right. Now we will go to flyweight. Maybe flyweight's the one, right? I mean, maybe flyweight will just shock the shit out of all of us, right? What do you guys think? What do you guys think? How many flyweights in the world? How many flyweights would you say there's in the planet? All the little dudes that I'm told that we need because boxing became a worldwide sport, and there's people from everywhere. 598, a little better. 598, a little better. All right. Now, keep in mind, guys, if they just had one weight class right there, it would be 1,000. But no, we got to separate, right? Makes total sense. Makes total sense. Okay, fine. Light flyweight. Is light flyweight really necessary? Do we really need light flyweight? Is it a necessary weight class? What do you guys think? How many light flyweights do you think there's in the world? 355. There's 355 of them. 355. I mean, Cruiserweight has 3 times as many participants. But I'm told that these weight classes have dudes from all over the world, I'm told. First of all boxing weight classes have dudes from all over the world, okay? But this whole no, we need these weight classes. We need it, all right? Let's go to minimum weight. How many weight, like minimum weight? Minimum weight has, I'll just go straight to it, 181 participants. That's what minimum weight has. I repeat, 181. I think I said 51, I believe, but it is 181 participants. So tell me again how we need to just, oh man, this guy, I mean, he was a minimum weight champion and he went all the way up to this weight class, and he fought in weight classes that just don't have the depth. They just do not have the level of competition that other weight classes do. Not to mention that they're just 3 pounds apart. I mean, welterweight is 10 times bigger than this weight class. This is insane. I mean, why even have the weight class? Why even do it? Why even have the weight class? Why do we need a weight class that holds 180 some people in the world? There's billions of people in the world. You can't even get like to 500. Like, really? We should give more accolades to the fighters that are fighting in weight classes that just don't have the depth, guys. They just don't. You think they always make the excuse, right? Once guys get to featherweight, or light featherweight, they always make the excuse that because the guys are just too big, even though they didn't jump that much in weight. They always make that excuse. No, because now they're fighting men. Like not now, it's not just the size. They're actually fighting guys their size. They were just cutting a lot of weight. They're supposed to be in these higher weight classes, right? They're supposed to be at 120 pounds, 22, whatever. They're supposed to be there. Then they get there to a weight class that has like 700 and some dudes, and then they find out they're just more skilled. They're just better fighters. I'm not saying just because there's not that many of them that we shouldn't have these weight classes. We just don't need this many of them. We just don't. Like I just find it weird that people, and then they just, and I think it's the boxing writers and the boxing media and the fans themselves that they just keep telling themselves these stories that just aren't true, right? They keep telling themselves that, well, there's this the little weight classes, it's just that from 120 down, 120, anything below 120 pounds is too little, guys. But they keep telling themselves over and over about how we need these weight classes, and it's they're the most populated weight classes. There's more of them than there's any other weight class. They just been telling themselves this, and it's just not true. That's not what the facts say. Now, I'll repeat, it doesn't mean a great fighter can't start in his lower weight classes. But I'm telling you, you don't go from dominating, knocking dudes out left and right, to getting exposed, all right, and somebody beating the shit out of you easily because you jumped another 3 pounds, and it just doesn't happen. It doesn't. They just weren't fighting guys that are that good. If they pass the test, then they're that good, right? Like, that's just the reality, guys. All right? That's just the truth. I mean, you don't have to accept it, but there is a reason that a lot of guys just say, you know what? Some, it's on anything under welterweight. I'm sorry, anything under lightweight. Some, it's anything under featherweight. I watch it all. Like, if there's a good fighter, there's a good fighter. But I recognize, like, dude, like, I'm not going to crown a dude in 112 pounds the best pound for pound fighter in the world because he's knocking dudes out, especially if I could clearly see that he's too big for the weight class. Especially. I'm just not going to do it. It's Chocolatito was an exciting fighter. I enjoyed watching him. He was a good fighter. But when people were calling him the best pound for pound in the world, like, are you shitting me? What are you fucking talking about? By the way, the numbers I just gave you just validates. It's just validation. That's all it is. It's hard numbers. It's facts. That's all that is. AJ10 just said, I hate it when boxing writers bring up these fighters in under 126 in hardest punchers in the sport. Really? ADLM, there's not even that many people that weigh that much. There's not. At 118, WBA has 3 championships. And here's the other thing. All right? I mean, do the math, people. There's 4, maybe 5, 6 champions at minimum weight. Like what? When you only have like 150 some participants? What? Or 180, whatever? That's nuts. Like to kind of get an idea, like you gotta like divide this shit by 4, you know? Like if you get 188 dudes, you divide it by 4, like you're really like every champion just has to be better than 47 other dudes. Like that's insane. Like that's crazy. Like to be a world champion. Just saying. And here's the other thing. The thing nobody ever talks about. The numbers are already low, and especially like in minimum weight and bantamweight and super bantamweight and all these weight classes, right? Like all these weight classes, guys, a lot of them are kids. At least, I venture to say, I'm guessing, at least half of them are under 18 years old. Because in some countries, you could go into professional boxing at 15 years old. So they're 15 and they're weighing 118 pounds. And by the time they're in their prime, they're already like featherweights and shit, right? Many of these fighters and these jockey-weights aren't jockeys, they're kids. All right, that's just the truth. That's just the reality. And the reason I'm bringing that up is because 15-year-olds don't become world champions, okay? Like they're just filling in numbers, but they're not gonna accomplish anything in that weight class. They're just fighting there in the meantime while they outgrow it. Okay, they haven't even maximized their puberty yet. Like they're gonna be actual, featherweights when they're actually fully grown and actually winning championships. Most of them, or being top 30, top 25, whatever it is. A lot of them are kids. Those 188, minimum weight, half of them easy are kids. Half of those bantamweights, half of them are kids. That they're just going to outgrow the weight class. They're going to have a couple of fights and then move on to the next weight class. All right, you need to bear that in mind. That's just the truth, folks. That's just the truth. Yeah, you have teenagers fighting. Absolutely. It's rare you have an Ivan Calderon who is 5'0" in a natural light flyweight. Yeah, and Ivan Calderon is an example of a fighter that I thought was pretty good. All right? I thought he was pretty good. I enjoyed watching him. Now, was there people saying he's pound for pound that I think that was ridiculous? Absolutely. Absolutely. There's people out here that have been telling themselves, including boxing writers and this history and lore of that they've been telling themselves about the amount of fighters that are on these weight classes from all over the world. I mean, they'll make it seem like most of boxing's fighters are in these weight classes, and it's simply not true. Okay, if there was a way to filter this, right? I wonder if there's a way to filter age on this shit, because this shit will be hilarious. Look, how many southpaws, right, is there at welterweight? Let's find out. Is there more, what do you guys think? More southpaws at welterweight or more minimum weight fighters? What do you think? What do you guys think? There's 164 southpaws. Okay. it was close. All right, it was close. There's just far more righties, right? But there's far more orthodox and everything. 164 southpaws at welterweight. Minimum weight has how many southpaws does minimum weight have? 21. 21 southpaws in the world. That's insane. That's crazy. You could have a career at this weight class and never fight a southpaw. That's insane. It's possible. But it was close. But it was close. Man, this is great. This is great. So the answer is yes. When you look at the raw numbers, if you have the eye test, you can tell, right? The reality is, while there's some outliers here and there is in everything. The reality is there's just the middleweight classes, like from lightweight to middleweight. Those weight classes are the most populated by far, right? By far. And it's not an accident that we see so many talents out of those weight classes. It just isn't. Because the raw numbers show us that. Outliers aside, right? That's what we get. Like, it's clear to see. Imagine a southpaw welterweight division. I mean, they can do it. We have a minimum weight division. So next time somebody tells you, no, there's more little guys than there's anything else. It's just not true. It's a story they've been telling themselves over the ages, over the few decades, that just isn't true, right? Because boxing became a worldwide sport, and a lot of these countries have little dudes, and they just have more fighters. It just isn't true. Yes, there's smaller dudes in other countries, but they're like welterweights. You guys not understand how small welterweights are? Have you seen Floyd Mayweather stand next to a football player? Do you not understand how small a lightweight is? Like, do you not understand? Do you not understand how small featherweight is? Featherweights are small. But you want to come here and act like look, man. You just don't see dudes like that are featherweight size just walking around. It just doesn't happen, okay? All right? But even then, like when you're talking about these even lower weight classes, the numbers show. I just went over the numbers. And keep in mind, it's not like these guys have two choices: jockey or fucking boxing. Like that's really the only two choices. What are the choices they have? What other sport can they play? So in a way, I understand it's a good thing, but there's not that many of them, guys. So get rid of these, day before weigh-ins, right? Get rid of these. There's just too many of these fucking weight classes. If I had gone over them and I saw, damn, there's 2,000 minimum weight fighters in the world, then I would be the first one to shut up. But that's just not the case. The evidence shows that. The evidence shows you. With that said, guys, I'm going to roll out. It's been great. Hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure you remember to hit that notification button. That way you're notified every time this style comes on live. Take a moment, thumbs up the video if you're listening live, you're listening archive, and you forgot to press the damn thumbs up button. Press it now. Throw that jab, hit that like button. All right? Well, that's it. This is D-Style. I'm out of here.